Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar Process Mining for RPA. I'm Yen. During the presentation, if you have any questions, please leave them in the question box and we'll be happy to answer them. Please also check out our QPR event, our upcoming webinar. The next one will be tomorrow at the same time, QPR Process Analyzer in Action, live product demo. The presenter for today's webinar is Mr. Teemu Lehto, Vice President in Process Mining at QPR. Hello, Teemu.
Hello, Yen. Great to be here. Great to be here. And should I start the presentation and get going? Yes, let's do that. So here we go. Okay. All right. So I am very happy to be here and talk to you about robotic process automation and process mining. So those two go very well together, and today we will be talking about that, and I hope I can share some light and experiences, and I really look forward to get also your comments and questions. So please do use the chat feature of the GoToWebinar. Okay, let's get going on. So maybe some slides introduction in the beginning and about the RPA pitfalls, and then about the best practices, how we believe, what is our take. Let's see, somebody said that the screen is not showing good. Let's just get it right. Sorry for this hassle if the PowerPoint is not correctly. Now you should see it fully. Okay. All right. So what is RPA? Well, according to Gartner research, it is a productivity tool. So it allows the user to configure one or more scripts, like bots, to activate the keystrokes. And that's what you do to replace one single human doing one single task. So RPA, the name is like robotic process automation, but like what Gartner is saying, it actually should read like robotic task automation, because what you are doing is that you put the computer to perform individual small tasks that previously were done by humans. And there are many situations when those tasks are super useful. So for example, with the user interfaces of SAP and Salesforce, when somebody makes a deal in Salesforce in many organizations, you copy that information and then create a sales order into SAP. And if there are a lot of people, humans doing that, it's a very good idea to replace the humans with bots, automated bots that actually can take the information from one system and put it to the other system. However, it's not always so simple. So humans can use their brains, and they can do a lot of more than just copying. So it always depends on how easy it is to create that particular bot. But the bots are here, and they are super good products. They help us humans to make processes efficient. So this is like the RPA. Okay. What is process mining? Well, according to Gartner, process mining is a technique designed to discover, monitor, and improve real processes. So it's like it is about discovery, about getting the process flow charts, but it's about those real processes, like what is actually happening in your organization. So you get a process flow chart and you get analysis related to that. And that is done by extracting the knowledge from the event logs in the information systems. Now, following my example of somebody creating a sales order into SAP based on something in Salesforce, whether it was a human who did the job and created the sales order, or whether it was a bot, automated RPA bot. For the process mining, they both are similar. Process mining is able to capture the whole process, whole end-to-end process, regardless of if the activities are being done by humans or by bots or by some real process automation tools like workflow automation or BPM engines. So process mining takes the low-level events and it is used for this automated process discovery, conformance checking, and these kind of things. So now, why would you use process mining together with RPA? Well, like Gartner says in this Move Beyond RPA to Deliver Hyper-Automation study, Gartner points out two main reasons. Identify the process inefficiencies. So process mining is a technology that lets you to really understand the end-to-end process. How is it going? Where are the inefficiencies? And what are the parts that you should improve? And RPA is one very good way to improve it. And then discover, monitor, and configure those tasks that can be automated by the bots and scripts. So process mining is sitting on a higher level, looking at the whole end-to-end process, and RPA is used for automating those individual tasks. And using these two approaches, you can orchestrate your whole process improvement and get the good results. Okay, common pitfalls related to choosing a wrong process. So there's a lot of studies. You can just Google RPA pitfalls or why RPA fails. You will get some very high figures from the studies of Ernst Young and PwC and other companies saying that half of the projects fail and so on. Well, anyways, you can also find that the RPA companies are having a very good revenues and they are producing a lot of benefits for their customers. So another question is, why do some RPA projects fail? Of course, it could be the implementation team. It could be some technology-related problems. But one of the very most common problems is the process that is being automated. So there's a statement called, you choose a wrong process. Well, in QPR, we don't really believe in a concept of wrong process. We have been helping customers since 91. That's more or less pretty soon 30 years in business process management, BPM, and in getting the process excellence. So we don't really believe in the term of wrong processes, but we do believe that there are easy processes and some complex processes. Now, it would be very nice if everything would be very easy and simple and everything would be automated and everything would go just like that. But on the other hand, those processes that are difficult, there's typically a very, very big potential for improvement and cost savings, and even beating your competitor, being the number one in the business. So when we see the list of the RPA pitfalls, we immediately think about this list as something that you can tackle with process mining. Let's see what it says. Too many exceptions. That is very typical. If your process has too many exceptions, then putting a robot that is just doing one thing in one part of the process might not work at all. The question is, how do you know how much exceptions you have? That is the first thing that process mining will deliver. You will have very good understanding of what are the exceptions, where do they come from, what are the root causes for the exceptions, and how you can deal with the exceptions, and what are the parts that you can automate easily. So what are the circumstances when there is not that much exceptions, and what are the circumstances when there's too much exceptions. This is what you get out of the process mining. And if you have too many exceptions, then it's the time to use process mining to improve the situation and drive the amount of exceptions down. No business significance. Well, don't spend time with a process that doesn't have a business significance. Well, okay, that was one pitfall listed in the studies. I would personally say that even a process that doesn't seem to have so much business significance might very well influence some other processes. So I would say that the level of the volume should be high. So if there's a high enough volume, then it's a good place to go to use RPA and process mining. Cost of error in execution is too high. Well, that is one area that, okay, if you can afford to have a human double checking each task, then obviously you don't want to rely on the bots alone. Too much high-level cognitive tasks, that again can be seen from the process mining, and that you can deal with the advanced technologies like the machine learning in QPR process analyzer. Okay, and then one thing is the too complex. So the process is too complex. And this is a very, very common pitfall. So when you use RPA, you should understand the task that you are automating, the sort of the sub-process, let's say the order income. So you are registering new customer orders, which could be considered as a sub-process. And then you should consider the whole end-to-end process. So if you do something in the order income, order handling, checking the validity of the order, and credit balance of the customer, that may have consequences in the end of the process. So it's really important to understand the end-to-end. So these kind of lists about the pitfalls related to wrong processes are very typical, and process mining is here to help you as an RPA person, RPA implementation consultant to get the good success. Okay, one slide about the exceptions. So what we have seen in practice is that 80%, you may have the situation that 80% of your business performs according to your agreed process. So this is how you have agreed. And then that is only taking 20% of the effort of the whole organization. Now, those cases that consist of exceptions, they may be taking 80% of the effort. In this scenario, if you automate something that belongs into this 80%, it's nice. It's nice that you automate, but the whole effort that you will be saving may be quite low. So if your situation is like this, then you may get better results by first looking at the exceptions, driving that amount down so that you drive the big amount of effort being done because of the rework and long lead times caused by the exceptions. So you drive this amount down, you increase the amount of this business that is done according to the agreed process, and then you hit the RPA to get the savings in this area. All right, couple of slides from our dear friend Gartner. So Gartner is pointing out that it may be overambitious to use RPA to automate the full end-to-end approach. So this is an example of bank reconciliation process, which takes 12 to 36 months. There's a lot of steps. And if your automation project is this whole process would be done completely automatically, then you may be overambitious of what RPA is designed for. So my comment, fails if you use RPA only. However, RPA is a task-based approach. So you divide your process, you see how it actually goes, and you pick individual tasks that are being currently performed manually by the employees. they are time consuming. There's a lot of chance for error. You copy something from this system to this system. If the copy pasting goes okay, so you may have some errors there. And it's not only like direct copy pasting. You need to convert something, country codes, and you need to check from some other list that what is the corresponding ID in this other system. The customer IDs may be a little bit different. So by automating these tasks one by one, the RPA, using RPA only, it may be a success, but there's one challenge. If you automate these individual tasks, how do you know that the whole process, whole end-to-end process is still working as it should? It's kind of you are guessing and you are relying on a good luck that, okay, I automated this part, I keep my fingers crossed, thumbs up, and hope that everything works as it should, but I don't have the visibility. So this brings the question to the process mining. So the point is to use the process mining to capture the whole end-to-end process, and then use the RPA for task-based automation on individual tasks that are being performed in your process. Process mining gives you the full end-to-end visibility with all those activities taking place, and then you see from the automation event attribute that within these particular activities, there has been this much of manually performed activities, automated activities, and activities performed by the bots. This is a very straightforward approach, and you can easily detect the activities done by the bots from systems like SAP. Bots have a certain unique naming convention in the organization, and it's very simple to just block down that, okay, these user IDs are bots, and you can just analyze them very, very straightforward. Bots, what are the bots doing? What are the humans doing? And you can use the full process mining functionality to see that your whole end-to-end process is still delivering what it should be delivering, like goods are being delivered on time. What is the main purpose of the sales order to cash process? Okay, so indicators. Well, now when you have this process flowchart and when you have the full process mining analysis, then what are you going to look for when you are starting to pick up your tasks? That what would be the good tasks to automate? Regular bottlenecks. So those places that are jamming the process would be really good to automate. Process steps with human errors. You see that from the repeating work. You have the indicators of something being done several times because of a human error. If you have 1 million purchase order lines, you can easily see if 2% of those have errors on problems, that's 20,000. Statistically, using process mining algorithms, it's very easy to find out the root causes for that. And those are good candidates for RPA. And then, of course, activities that the staff hates doing. I mean, humans are not like bots. So bots don't mind, but humans, if it's very, very tedious, it easily leads to these human errors. And it doesn't seem to be like a work worth doing if a computer or bot could do it. So those are very good candidates to pick as tasks to be automated. Right, getting to the end with the slides. So best practices. So first of all, understand the end-to-end processes in your organization. That is simple. You just take process mining, put in the connectors, extract the data or establish a connection, and then you get the flow charts, analysis, and updates on monthly, weekly, daily basis. You identify the best processes for RPA. I will be focusing in that in my demonstration. And then you automate you use the RPA automation, and then you monitor the end-to-end. So it's not enough to just monitor the one task that you replaced with RPA. It's super important to monitor the whole end-to-end process to see that whether your automation caused some other part of the process to fail. That has been the wisdom of process improvement for 30, 40 years. Like, think about the processes, something you do in the beginning has effect in the end. So the RPA is the very same thing. It's not enough just to look at the one task. You need to look at the whole end-to-end. And then follow up and improve and go on with your digital transformation journey or cost cuttings or making the process faster. And how do you calculate the return on investment? With the good tools, your RPA projects will be more efficient. So you will be able to complete more than without process mining. And that means that your business processes will be more efficient, faster. And then that is the part that is really giving you the return on investment. You will get more efficient processes faster. Okay, let's go to the demo. Yes, I'm so happy to jump here. Okay, we are running here the QPR process analyzer, at least as soon as I'm getting ready. Okay, this is the QPR process analyzer tool, and we have several webinars, and in this I'm not going to go to the basic functionality so much. I just show that the example model today is purchase to pay, and there are certain steps that are being done in this process, and we are interested in how to automate these particular steps. Now, the reality in the process, if that was the sort of the let me still say it one. If this is the sort of the high level picture of what is happening in the process, purchase requisitions being created, shopping carts created, purchase order being created, and then the goods are received, invoices received, and the invoice is paid. That kind of process steps are typical in purchase to pay process. Now, there are actually much more than just these 7 tasks. So if I take a bit more here, you will see that when I click the plus, I'll get up to this, let's say, 20, 30 different tasks. So there are very many things that happen in addition to these normal, straightforward process steps. The prices keep on changing, the items and the amounts are keeping changing, quality inspections are being done after the goods received, and good received reversals are taking place over here. And then invoice handling is not that straightforward as it first seems to be. Okay, so this is the area where we live, and this is what the process mining is so good at. So it can take a full end-to-end process and have the overview picture and all the details. And now with this information, we can do analysis. For example, if we are concerned about the duration, how much time this process is taking, I can just say that, hey, if it's taking more than 25 weeks, I want to see why. So now I created the root cause analysis, and then I can go on and check the root cause analysis on top of the flowchart, which would show me with color codes that, okay, the red boxes are taking a long time if the process goes through those, and the blue ones are the areas where it goes fast. Or I can do the root cause analysis on top of the case attributes, where I see that, okay, if the order type is PO shopping cart, 80% of the cases are taking a long time, where the average was only 14%. And if the order type is PO standard, only 10%. If the vendor is this hand rising a little, then 3% are taking a long time. So this is a very fast vendor, whereas in this Donnelly Ltd, 81% of the cases are taking a long time. So this is what process mining is all about, very efficient analysis of the processes. Now let me jump into the scenario of RPA. First of all, we start with the RPA automation rate. So here we see an illustration of the automation rate being at this picture up to 71.3% of the cases events are handled automatically. So this is the rate how much of your tasks are done automatically during the processes. And here's the whole task volume. Then you use, this is kind of giving the overview of how your automation is progressing. Then the automation rates by each event type. So here you see that shopping cart created is totally manual, whereas the purchase requisition created is manual over here, but then a lot of it is also done by the bots. So the green over here is the bots. And then blue is the process automation, like the workflow engines. So you see by the activity how much you are doing automatically. And now this automation opportunity scout is your first tool to check out where is a good opportunity to apply an RPA bot. So the size, the radius of the bubble is telling the amount of the manual events that you are doing. And for example, here, shopping cart created, all of those activities are manual. So there's 10,347 events that you could automate. Here we have the invoice received. Out of these 29,984 events, 23,486 are manual. So you see there's the ratio in this axis, and here the total event count and the size. So this is giving you the idea that that where should you go for. The bigger bubble, the more opportunity you have. Then going forward, we have the measures and indicators for each company separately over here. So like if I click the Germany over here, I see the total events, automation rate, all the graphs are updating. So now you see the trend for Germany and you see the automation opportunity scout for Germany. Here you click the US, and now we have selected these two, and again, so we can use whatever, we can scope our project to meet the good targets that we have. Like we can see that, okay, we will be having some project in Germany, US, and Italy, and now we are seeing the biggest potential over there. So okay, we have the goods received would be actually very high also in the list in those areas. So this is the one view that the QPR has built in these for supporting the robotic automation. Let me move forward. The next one would be the case level view. So in this particular view, now we are starting to focus in how many manual activities you have in each case. So we see that the touchless order rate here is only 0.2. So in some businesses, some processes, it can be up to 40, 70%. But here it's very much manual activities. But you see that the most common, very common places, 17% only have one manual activity. 38% have two manual activities. So here you can use this information also to check that what are the events that are having that. And now this is the important chart if you are considered about the lead times. So you see that in here we have the lead time for the whole cases, and we see that if you have 0 manual activities, then your lead time average is 52 days. If you have 1 manual activity, lead times 65 days. And when we go into this level of 5 manual activities, 115 days. So there's a direct correlation. The more you can automate, the faster your process will be. In this case, of course, with your data, it will show your results, how much this influences. But here you can see that that where would be the biggest potential for time savings. And now this list gives you the very detailed list of checking that those cases that have only one manual activity, and that happens to be goods received. So there's 3,487 those cases, and the average case duration is 55 days. And then you can see that, okay, if the PO created is done manually, then the average duration is 95 days. So maybe being able to automate this PO creation would actually make these processes very fast. So it may have a very big effect. And then there may be some pairs of tasks that if you can automate 2 tasks in a pair, then it would be this would show how much time you would be saving if you would be able to automate the PO created and purchase requisition created 124 cases, and this is the time saving that you have. And again, here you can then limit this, for example, to only one purchasing organization or only one vendor or only one country or material or your business unit. So you have a full possibility to look at your organization and processes from all the angles. Okay, I also want to get one more view to show to you, which is the process automation for those variations. And by the variations, we mean this how much, sorry, the name of should be the process automation, including the euros. So here we see the business potential for the savings. So the automation rate over here by the event name is displayed over here, but this is the euro area. So here we see that if you have an event invoice received and that is following the event PO created, okay, then your automation rate for this event is 54%. You have 5,000 automated events and 4,300 manual events. And then taking into account how much time you are currently spending in those manual activities, we can calculate the automation opportunity figure in euros. So in this example, being able to automate the invoice received after the PO created would give you 15.5 million euro savings on annual basis. And after the goods received, again, 15.5. And goods received would give you 4.7 million. Of course, this is based on now your estimate of the working time cost and other resource costs. But the key point here is that you can actually also see the euro values or dollars and to guide you in the decision of what task would be worthwhile to automate next. So that was to the bullet point of, is there a significance? So you should go to those areas where there is a significance. Okay, so these were examples of QPR process analyzer robotic process automation solution, which gets the data automatically from the ERP systems and then displays you all this in addition to all the other dashboards that you have for operational development. And let me jump to show you the last slides. Yes, I wanted to take this one slide regarding the process excellence as an sort of ending slide. So what we hope to do with you, what we hope that you can use our QPR process analyzer tool is that you can take an end-to-end process and you can make sure make sure that 3 things will become true. Number 1, happy customer. Your customer of the process should get what they want, like on time in full. Number 2, it should be a happy flow. So it should be done according to your company procedures and processes. That's the first time right attitude. So your company should be able to handle the cases according to your own agreed processes. That's the internal efficiency. And it used to be the time when these were the only 2 boxes, But now for the last 5 years, we have had this third box, which is the happy automation. So once you have the customers happy, you want to achieve both the internal efficiency and the happy automation, which means that you have no touch processing. So you want to automate as much as is feasible for those tasks. And sometimes the automation is the thing that drives the internal efficiency. So sometimes by automating tasks, you can get the control to the process flow and the execution internal efficiency. Sometimes you need to do this internal efficiency first to streamline and harmonize before you can move into the automation part. But this happy customer is the most important always. Okay, so happy customer, happy flow, and the happy automation, that gives you the process excellence. And this is a framework that you get from Process Analyzer for all of your processes. You get the dashboards giving you these figures on monthly, weekly basis to help your operational excellence initiatives. All right, thank you very, very much for listening. And here is a set of our upcoming webinars. We are having this series for process mining use cases. And also tomorrow we're going to have a product demo webinar, as is many times case on Wednesdays. So the floor is yours, and I'm happy to take in some questions. Okay, will you be sending a deck out after the call? Yes, we will be producing this the webinar recording, and then also the slides, and there will be some emails being sent to you, and I hope you will get it. Okay, we have a question like, is it possible to send alert reports with QPR Process Analyzer? Okay, yes, that's a good comment. So as I briefly showed, process mining is very good in detecting problems in the processes, like something is being returned, or there's a rework, or things didn't go as they should have gone. So it was done against the blueprint, the design model, or some robot process automation RPA task is not launched or did not finish as it should. So those are things that can be found from the event logs. And Process Analyzer indeed is able to send all those reports automatically. So we can send a report of non-conformances or any other process findings that have taken place, for example, during the last 1 week or during the last day, if you are importing or connecting with daily increments. And then also we have the machine learning, so that actually we can make case level predictions that are saying that these cases are likely to not meet the RPA, for example, the SLA, the service level agreement of the process. So yes, indeed, the process manager is able to send the alert reports. Okay. Yes, there is a question that regarding the task mining. So how do you do task mining with QPR Process Analyzer? And yes, that's very good question. And the key point is that QPR Process Analyzer, as I was already demonstrating over here. So when you are in this view and you have your flowchart running here, then you can always freely choose what level you want to see. Like this level of detail in many organizations means that you have a very detailed task level analysis of the flowchart. Whereas if you go to the top, like only to this 7 boxes level, then you are more like having an activity level where one activity is is a grouping of let's say 10 or 50 or 100 different kind of task level activities. And QPR Process Analyzer is perfectly capable of analyzing all that data that you get from the individual tasks. We do not have a task recording application as such. So we don't have an application that is installed into your laptops and keeps on monitoring and recording the user keystrokes. But there are such applications, and you can get the recorded data from those, and then you can analyze that data with QPR Process Analyzer. Okay. There's a good, like a nice question. There's a QPR process modeling tool and the QPR process analyzer. So both are getting the mapped processes. So why would you have two? Well, I'm really happy you pointed that out. So if I just very briefly show you this one, that you go to the QPR website. Indeed, we have a tool called Process Designer, which is a tool that you can use to manually design your processes. And there were times when people were using the designer tool to also document the as-is processes. But that is something that only very few companies are doing anymore for the as-is processes. So the current processes are being documented with Process Analyzer, which is reading the data automatically, and then the to-be processes or the blueprint, the sort of the design, that is done with the design tools like QPR Process Designer. And in our QPR Process Analyzer, the functionality that combines these two is the conformance analysis. And if I jump into the, so here we have the, let me just quickly take the right demo model over here. Order to cash. Okay, so we have the we have here a order to cash model, and we have a design model over here. So this is a design model that you can make, and then we have that is saying that the process should go like this, and then this is the as-is model that has been discovered from the ERP system. And now comparing the design model with the as-is model, we see this conformance trend, like how big percentage of your cases are conforming, and top violations, and the root cause analysis for that. And this same trend you of course get for the robotic process automation rates and so on. Okay, I think we have used the time. Let me quickly check. Yes, and we are very happy that you participated. And if you have any further wishes, please do contact us, and let's book a meeting and talk about your case in hand and how process mining could help there. Thank you very much, everybody, and stay safe.